Yeah, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Today my friend and I will present about the waterfall model. So my name is Zunnurain and my fellow friend is Faiq Irfan. Then we have Mama Joni and we have Abel. Next. So what is the waterfall model? So waterfall model was the first SDLC approach used in software development, also referred as a linear sequential life cycle model. And the process in the waterfall, each phases must be completed before going to the next phases. So we can skip to other phases if the before going to the next phases. Next. And this is the waterfall model phases. So the first phases we have a requirement gathering and analysis. And the second phases we have system design. And the third phases is implementation. And fourth phases is testing. And fifth phases is deployment. And the last phases is maintenance. So as we talked before, waterfall model cannot skip each phases to the next phases if that phases is not completed. So which means system design, we cannot go to system design if we don't completed requirement gathering and analysis. Next slide.
Okay, so hi, I'm Abel and I'll be continuing from here and I'll be explaining about the waterfall system which phase by phase. So the first one will be requirement gathering and analysis. All possible requirements are captured and documented to develop the system during the discussion with the customer. Example of questions during discussion: do we have to support multiple languages? How many users are expected to use the application? Phase 2, system design. This system design helps in specifying hardware and system requirement and defining the overall system structure, architecture. The program designer will create the architecture diagrams and high level or low level design documents for the project. So the third phase is implementation. The development team will work on coding the project based on the inputs from the system design. The developer will take the design documents and ensure to follow the design finalized by the system design. The system is developed in small programs called units, which is referred to as unit testing. Next. Okay, so phase 4 will be testing and integration. The testing team tests the complete application and identifies any errors or faults in the application. The testing system will fix any error that appear and ensure all the error is fixed. Post integration, the entire system is tested for any new faults and errors. Fifth phase will be deployment. Once the functional and non-functional test is done, the product is deployed in the customer environment and released into the market. The sixth phase will be maintenance. If some issues come up in the client's system, patches are released to fix those issues. Also, to enhance the product, better versions are released to deliver these changes in the customer environment. Next. So the next will be when to use CDLC waterfall models. So waterfall model can be used in different ways and different categories, which will be when requirements are not changing frequently, application is not complicated and big, project is short, requirement is clear, environment is stable, technology and tools are used, not in dynamic and is stable, and the last one will be resources are available and trained. Thank you.
சரி சரி சார் So next, I'm going to talk about advantages of waterfall model. First, we have a simple and easy to understand and use. Second, easy to manage due to the rigidity of the model. Each phase has specific deliverables and review process. Third, phases are proceed and completed one at a time. Fourth, work well for smaller projects where requirements are very well understood. Fifth, clearly defined stages. And sixth, we have a well understood milestone. And the second last, easy to arrange tasks. And the last one is process and result are well documented. Next is disadvantages of waterfall model. First, no working software is produced until late during the life cycle. The life cycle. Second, high amount of risk and uncertainty. Uncertainty. Third, not a good model for complex and object-oriented projects. Fourth, poor model for long and ongoing projects. Fifth, we have a not suitable for the project where requirements are at a moderate to high risk of changing. And the third last is it is difficult to measure progress within stages. And the second last cannot accommodate changing requirements. The last one is adjusting scope during the life cycle can end a project. So this is an example of waterfall model system. Waterfall model was used to develop enterprise application or system like customer relationship management or we call CRM system. And second, human resource management system or HRMS. And the last one is point of sales, a system for retail chains. Next, Faiq.
Okay, video. Okay, this is the video SDLC animation. Okay, in this animation, which that should they have a manager project, client, analysis, designer, programmer, and tester. And they are for this company. They have application to use and the main projects. This is the first phase that question to ask the company how to use application or how to understand the user using. And you can see the second phase. Uh, Okay, this is the next process that the manager have contact the WA group to
use to meet to have a meeting to all uh, uh, company section workers. This meeting we know that the process how to use application or to know the solution about the application that the client want. Okay, that's all. Next slide. Okay. For our conclusion in waterfall model that the waterfall is the first model that human use in the software development, and it becomes a command for applicability of each space and ensure a logical or linear flow of process. Okay, this waterfall that allow developers to learn about the specification early in the development process. That means that help that they stay on track, not to mention easy to implement because it is simple to easy and to understand. Next slide. Okay, this is our reference that we search in about a content that waterfall model. And thank you very much from our team to all the listeners.